Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Let's see if I can get a better look at my face here. There we go. Um, there's some things here that I would like to talk about. In particular, uh, some instances that happened when I was younger. Um, some things have been going on in my life. I've been, everybody knows, I'm a little crazy or whatnot, but I have been seeing a therapist, and I think this is a good idea for me to do, considering the fact that this person, I don't know if he stopped, but I wanted to thank you, Tiffany. I wanted to, God, this is actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Um, Back in the late 80s when I lived in the apartments in Luna Pier, I had a neighbor. His name was Robert Donkos Jr. And with the exception of two or three people outside of my family and my therapist, nobody else knows this. But for some time, he was molesting me when I was younger, and it devastated me. I I never told anybody sooner because he had made it a point to tell me that if I told anybody, that he would tell people that I was gay or and stuff like that. And back then in the 80s, that was horrible. Uh, but he's already a he's already a registered sex offender. At the end of this video, I'm going to post a link so everybody can search their area or specific people, and also a link with his profile. Um, God, this is a lot harder than I thought it was. Um, a friend of mine recently told me that he was making plans on maybe going to help him, and my friend has kids, and when my friend asked me about that, I couldn't in good conscience let. Okay, sorry about that. Got a text message. My It stopped for a second. Um, yeah, I had already blocked him. He tried to friend request me a couple years ago on Facebook, and I had blocked him and reported him to the Michigan State Police. They were well aware of the situation. Unfortunately, by the time that I came forward, it was 6 months, 7 months too late for them to do anything about it. But it's come to my attention that he has two other public profiles on Facebook, which is against their terms of service. And if I'm not mistaken, in Michigan, if you are a type 3, where you have to register for life, then you're not allowed to even be on Facebook at all. Um, Thank you, Don. Thank you, everybody. Um, but I just want to let people know what that man did to me when I was younger. When I lived in the Looney Pier apartments, he was my neighbor. He was older than me. Um, I I didn't know what to do. Then later on in life, I had forgotten all about it for the longest time, and I believe. Um, but he had come up to my door when I was living in the apartments with my wife and my two beautiful children. Uh, Talking about my son accidentally stepped on his son's RC controller, and that's when I informed the housing management at the time that he was a registered sex offender. And being in the apartments, you have to have kids live there, so he's not even supposed to be around kids. But they didn't do anything about it, or they couldn't do anything about it. So, I love you, son. I see ya. Um, Further on down the road is when he decided to friend request me. He actually had a nerve to friend request me on Facebook after that. Is I hate pedophiles. I hate them with a passion. There shouldn't be no prison terms for them. I am not advocating violence against people individually, so please don't take it that way. But in order for me to heal emotionally, I thought it was necessary that I came out and tell everybody the truth. Like I said, his name is Robert Donkos Jr. He has two other Facebook profiles under just Robert Donkos. Um, but I thought everybody should be aware of who he is. Some of you already know who he is and are aware of them. Some people who are not. And I don't know. I just thought that I needed to get this out and tell everybody what that man did to me, the way I was treated, and uh, Savannah, can you text Daphne? Tell her that I'm in the middle of the broadcast. Thank you. Um, crap. Where was I? Um, where was I? Okay. Well, everybody needs to know who he is. I went through. It was long in high school and junior high. After that, um, I admit, I was teased because of my last name or because of the way I acted, and I made a lot of enemies back then. I was just emotionally damaged. So, to everybody that I went to school with, or and all them, I just wanted to apologize for my behavior back then. Yeah, I'm saying his name, Robert Donkos Jr. He lived in the apartments. Yeah, I need to tell people about who he is and what he done. And even though I only see when you search the sex offender registry in the Michigan State Police database that it's only one. He's only been convicted of one act of uh, sexual misconduct with a child under the age of 13. There's got to be more people out there, and I feel bad. Even now, I wish I had said something back then. Maybe I could have saved somebody else's pain and misery, but I didn't because I was embarrassed, I was ashamed, and I was scared. And I'm 40 years old now, and I've been carrying around that with me for over 30 years, and I just can't do it anymore. I need to get it out. I've gotten it out. People are now know who he is, and I just want to make sure everybody, wherever you're at, whatever state you are in, they have a sexual predator database, sex offender database. Input your address. Find out who is near you. Protect yourself. Protect your children. Protect your children's children. All right. Um, that seems to be it for now. But I hype this all up. But Facebook posts and stuff like that. But I needed to get it out. I needed to be out there and people to know that mistakes happen. But this man has ruined my life emotionally. But fortunately, in 1997, I met my wife. And we got married, and we had two beautiful kids. And my life has been a blessing since the day that I met her. And I want to tell people out there, anybody's going through the same situation I am, you are not alone. There is hope, and there is happiness out there. You just got to let people know. Don't worry about, I know in 2020 hindsight, don't let what happened to you or me hold you back from having a happy life. Let your family and friends know. They will understand. They will not judge. All right. I guess that's it for now. I just want to say that I love you guys all. Um, be safe out there. And if you have any questions, uh, I'm not going to go into specific details. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And after this broadcast, I'm going to post a link to where you can search situations like that and a link to his Michigan State Police database profile. so you can see what he was charged with. That he has to register as a sex offender for his entire life.